And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, October 13th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. A Friday morning. We're glad to have you with us, and of course, glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Heidi King is here this morning. Howdy. Heidi.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Heidi is financial advisor with Raymond James for Wilson Bank and Trust, and comes here from time to time. You and a few of the other advisors, and you've been here a number of times. It's good to see you again. Remind everybody that you were the 2022 Woman of Distinction for Raymond James. Quite an honor.
Yes, thank you. Still a little bit of shock, and it's been a year.
But you don't mind people being reminded of this. It has to do with the job that you're doing, no doubt.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing these days?
A little bit of everything, right? So I feel like we're a little bit of a counselor these days with everything going on in the market, and much more than just an investment advisor. It's a planner, counselor, therapist. It depends on the day.
Well, I watch the Dow pretty much every day, and it will go up and go up 200 or 300 points, and you think, boy, it's going to hit 35,000 again or whatever, and then you're down to 33. It's kind of been an up and down thing for quite some time.
I feel like for the past probably 2 to 3 years, it's just been a real weird sideways type of market. It's been, I think, more difficult to navigate as an advisor these days than it was in like 08 and 09, just because of where interest rates are, what the Fed has been doing, a little bit of war going on, right?
Yeah. Well, what you have a particular message for us today?
Really, I have been counseling with clients, like we said, since the beginning of the year. So it's finally diversification, I feel like, is finally back. So interest rates, the Fed has continued to raise interest rates. Meeting after meeting, we did get a little bit of a pause and a little bit of a reprieve, but looking like we're going to raise rates again. So that really took a toll on the fixed income side of people's portfolios. But it's looking like bonds are now paying 4%, 5%, 6%, 7% even. So being able to go back into those investments and feel comfortable in those investments is a real prudent idea, in my opinion, if that's part of your risk profile and tolerance.
Do you ever recommend CDs for people?
Absolutely.
I know the Wilson Bank has raised the rates on those recently.
Oh, yeah.
And are very competitive, by the way.
Yeah, I believe they got a 5% CD special at 13 months.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to shake a stick at when you can get 5%, is there?
But some people aren't satisfied with 5%, and the opportunity presents itself for greater if you can tolerate risk. But there is a lot more risk involved when you're putting your money in stocks than there is when it's in a CD or maybe even bonds.
That's exactly right. But that's why we don't just try to throw a dart at the board and pick one individual stock or just one individual bond. Really making sure that you've got a fully diversified basket is the name of the game, right? So CDs can also play into that piece of the pie. So I've got a lot of clients that we just don't own individual stocks and bonds, your traditional portfolio. We look to use alternative type investments like structured notes that might have some protection with them, and hedge against a little bit of the downside. We can use CDs, annuities, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this for a while, and no doubt have a client base that's good. But sure, you're looking for anybody that would like to join you, either young or old. But what about our young people coming into this as much maybe as they should? You can't start too early investing.
You can never start too early investing. I've started to try to teach my 15-year-old daughter that. She's getting her first job here next month, and so we're going to be talking about Roth IRAs for her, because you could, like you said, you can never start too early. So there's someone in our office that's always willing to sit and talk with any walk of life, any investment level of experience. And whether you're just starting out and need to start a college fund, or like we said, that Roth IRA, or you're getting ready to retire and you need more financial planning, income planning, and a lot more of an in-depth look at what you've got going on.
You deal with more elderly people than you do younger people? I would imagine you do, but I'm guessing.
Actually, my book is pretty diverse. So I've got a good handful of those 30 and 40-year-olds that are making a decent living, trying to max out 401ks and still looking to put money away somewhere else. And then also we're about to retire or already retired. And that way we can help manage what that income stream looks at, because we know Social Security doesn't cover all the expenses every month.
Right, exactly. But you do have to be prepared to advise the younger people and the older, and it's not always the same. It's kind of a different game as life changes.
That's exactly right. And I do love that about our team at Wilson Bank and Wilson Bank Investments, that it's not a cookie cutter solution. We really do sit and counsel with each one of our clients at least annually, because I want to see your face. I got to know what's going on with you. But we do sit down and counsel, and everybody, it's not a one size fits all. So we're going to make sure we create the plan that fits you.
All right, we've talked about investments. We might as well do this disclaimer, right?
Absolutely. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, not guaranteed by Wilson Bank and Trust, subject to risk, may lose value.
Heidi, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Coleman.
Heidi King, and a reminder, it's Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987, and Oktoberfest next weekend, right?
Next weekend, come out and see us, 21st and 22nd.
We are 10 and a half minutes after the hour, and here on this Friday morning, I have a special guest. It's his third appearance on Coleman and Company. And I am speaking of retired Air Force Colonel Jim Beeman, who is my wife's niece, so that makes nephew, I'm sorry, my wife's nephew, and that means he's my nephew too, and I claim him as well. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. By the way, happy 30th anniversary.
To WANT.
You bet.
Well,
you bet. That's awesome.
And it's 30 years for me doing this program here.
Wow.
Actually started the 31st year this past Monday. So
wow.
Now in our 31st year of Coleman and Company. But we're glad to have you here. Your abode is near Washington, D.C.
Correct.
And you're going to be one of these days, I think, going to, is it Iowa?
To Nebraska.
Nebraska.
You bet.
They're close. Okay.
They're close.
But you were in the Middle East last April, I believe. And,
correct.
And being retired from the Air Force, you no doubt have sources that you can talk to. You know more what's going on than the average person, no doubt. What about all that's happened in the Middle East in the last 2 weeks here?
Well, I just got done listening to the former Department of Defense Chief Information Security Officer, Katie Arrington. She's also a congresswoman from South Carolina when she was a congresswoman. And she just got done doing a talking piece, very short talking piece. And the bottom line, she said, was this, and I absolutely agree with her. Our adversaries are, and not just one, but our adversaries are, in essence, creating wars in different areas that U.S. is because we are a protector of freedoms and as a country. And because of that, these wars are going to start draining off the resources of the United States. And because we can only support so much. And so right now you've got a war in Ukraine that we're supporting. You've now got a war with the Prime Minister Netanyahu saying in Israel that this is a war now. And in Gaza Strip, this is going back to, what was it, 2014, I think it was, when the last time they went in. And this is now where the United States has already said we're committing, not boots on the ground, but we're committing resources, ammunition, weapons, and so forth to Israel.
Ships have been moved in that area.
They have. I think the John Gerald Ford Carrier Battle Group, I think it is now there. And so you've got the United States is committing resources, but here's the question, why? What is the one adversary that is probably a near peer to us in the United States that wants us to commit our resources elsewhere? And that's China. China wants us to commit our resources elsewhere significantly. And what does China want? Taiwan. And they realize that the United States is making partnerships with the Philippines, with Vietnam, with various countries down there, Australia. You've got a lot of partnerships that are going on around that South China Sea area, and China doesn't like it. And so what they're right now trying to do is what we believe is they are basically pulling the resources of the United States to other locations where we have to now commit. And now China will have the ability to, in essence, very similar to what happened way back when at Pearl Harbor. So
I had not even thought of such a scenario. Makes sense.
So the United States is a phenomenal country. Our capability to really generate work, generate products, generate capabilities here is second to none.
But
every
you can
country
nearly
knows it.
always spread your resources, get them spread too thin.
Too thin.
So that's the idea here.
That's what we believe. And that's basically what Katie Arrington said. And the other thing that she said is that we are in a cyber war. If we didn't know that, we're in it. And you have many of our adversaries plus numerous cyber attack groups that are generally state-sponsored. When I say state-sponsored, I'm talking countries, nation states. And they are absolutely going after our people through social engineering. It is the number one way to get you to lose your money and drain off those resources of the American people. And then on top of that, capture through espionage, capture our secrets, capture all that information. So we are absolutely in a cyber war right now, and we have been.
All right, we've got to take a break right here. We'll have more with Colonel Jim Beeman in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They'll help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota, check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning in Williamson County. Trying to clean up that earlier wreck on 840 eastbound in Paytonsville. Traffic's picked up again with that volume on 24 west up through the Hickory Hollow area, leaving Rutherford County towards Davidson, towards Nashville. Traffic's on the increase over here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Still moving right now out of Dixon County, I-40 east, headed towards Kingston Springs. Hey, Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's most professional painting company, both commercial and residential. Check them out online this weekend at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hello, this is Elisa Eakes from Sherry's Hope, and I'd like to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Archie Grooms. Want to say happy anniversary to WANT FM 98.9. Just a local boy on a local radio station.
This is Galen Wilson with Wilson Rides, and we just want to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Fantastic Fred Anthony, the Saturday Night Wizard at WANT. I'd like to wish them a happy 30th anniversary and have 30 more years.
The Grand Old Barn Songwriters are coming to Starstruck Farm. Enjoy hit songwriters and a delicious buffet dinner in a beautiful, unique venue on Highway 109, Thursday, October 19th. Nashville writers Mark Allen Barnett, J.D. Shelburne, and Bill D. Luigi will be featured. Tickets are available through Eventbrite or by calling 615-636-5137. That's 615-636-5137. Join us for the fun Thursday, October 19th at Starstruck Farm.
For more than 36 years, Wilson Bank has been supporting local schools and student athletes in the classroom and on the field. We're big on helping our home teams reach their goals. You can count on knowledgeable bankers, competitive rates, and an open line of communication. So join the winning team at Wilson Bank and Trust, where we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors and friends. Visit any of the 30 Wilson Bank and Trust offices or visit wilsonbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
We continue here on a Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. You just tuned our way. Retired Air Force Colonel Jim Beeman is with us this morning. We've talked even more off the air here. You were telling me about how it is over there in Israel and in the area where the Palestinians live in the Gaza Strip and so on. You were there. You experienced this, and it's security and the boundaries and borders and all this it's not that difficult to get around, to understand.
No, it's not. In fact, one of the things that my wife and I were just absolutely floored was that when we went into Jerusalem, there are Christian sites that are significant to us. There are Jewish sites that are significant to us. There are Islamic sites that are significant. When I say significant, I mean like extremely significant. And everybody is walking around. It's like if you were to walk downtown Lebanon, right downtown, and see people walking around, same concept. And you could be having a Jew, a Christian, and an Arab all right there, and it's a neat little place. I mean, Jerusalem is, wow, I was shocked. But now when we were driving there, we drove by certain locations. One of those was the Gaza Strip. And it's just a border wall. That's all it is. And probably 10 feet tall. And you've got the buildings on one side and buildings on the other side. And you can see people over there. And they've got lots and lots of gates that people come back and forth through those. So it's a fairly porous area where the Islamic Defense Forces guard the gates and people come back and forth to work. And you probably heard that every single day, over 20,000 Palestinians come through those gates to go to work in Israel. Mm-hmm. And that is absolutely supported, not a problem. And now you can imagine the answer is no, nobody's coming to those gates now. And
well, I understand Mr. Netanyahu has been telling the Palestinians to flee. We're going to the Gaza Strip. We're going to tear it apart.
Yep.
And they're apparently doing a good job of that. But where are they going to flee to? And how?
The only thing I can think of is probably head north toward Lebanon. And that's about the only place. But the Gaza Strip is fairly closed off. I mean, you've got Israel to the north, you've got Egypt to the south, and Israel to the east. So really, the Gaza Strip, the only place I can imagine is you're probably going to have to head down south to Egypt.
What, in your estimation, would be the conclusion of this? Is this going to drag out a long time, or is it going to, if they tear things apart in Gaza, it's not that big an area, and what I've been seeing on TV, it seems like some of these 5-10-story buildings are going down all at once when they're hit.
The problem you have over there in Israel is you have international attention, and you have human rights type situations. And so Israel really is in a situation where if they want to go in, and I'm not saying they are or not, that's up to the prime minister. But in the end, if they go in and start basically going after Hamas and eventually potentially Hezbollah, then they're going to have to do it quick. They do not have months. They have weeks to get in and take care of this, because the international community will become very vocal on human right type activities, because Hamas and Hezbollah hide behind civilians. It's not that Israel wants to go after civilians. They don't. They want to protect the civilians. But Hamas and Hezbollah hold on to those civilians, and they hide behind them because they know that the rule of warfare, we don't want to hurt civilians.
Where do you think Iran figures into all of this? And this money that allegedly went to them to free some hostages, I understand that might be frozen at the moment, but what do you know about that you can tell us?
All I can say is that if anybody says that Iran did not back the situation right now, I can't understand why they would say that. And it's not a matter of, and Iran may say, well, we did not directly support this event. Maybe. Who knows? They will find out. The United States will find out. But the bottom line is that Iran supports Hamas. Iran supports Hezbollah. Mm-hmm. They provide them weapons. They provide them money. They provide them training. Anybody knows that if Hamas and Hezbollah do something, they are asking their parents, Iran, first. There is no doubt about it.
All right, we've come to 25 after this morning, and this is not really what I anticipated us talking about when I first issued the invitation to you. But let's talk about a little bit about what you are doing. You're teaching all the time, even while you're down here visiting your Aunt Sandra. You talking about some cyber classes or whatever. You're a busy guy.
I try to be. So, but to give you an idea, just let me give you an example. About a month and a half ago, I was teaching class, and I'm expecting at my house a UPS package. I'm expecting one. And I get a text message that said that, it was a text that came to me, and it said, your package is being delayed. We don't have enough information on the address. Click on this link to go over to the site so that they can, in essence, they were going to tell me that the package had not had good addresses, and then I needed to give them my credit card information and so forth so that they could charge about $9, to get the package to me. Well, instead of clicking on the text link, which you should never do, you should never click on any text message links, any email links, any kind of links. Don't ever do it. Don't ever click on attachments. Even from somebody you know, you still don't do that. I called UPS Direct. That's what you should do. Mm-hmm. I called them I looked up there. Don't use the number that the text message gives you. Don't use the telephone. That's a phony number. And so I called UPS Direct. I called them. They said, oh, yeah, that's a known scam. They are looking for you they said, first of all, we never charge you, the recipient, to get the package to you. If it's the sender's responsibility, not yours. And they said, that is a scam. Once you put your credit card information in and hit enter, boom, they've got your credit card, and it's not $9.
Is that what you're teaching all the time?
I teach a lot of different concepts of cybersecurity. We call it what we call defense in depth. It's very much like our military. We have the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Navy. We have the Coast Guard. We have a defense in depth in the United States military. In cybersecurity, we have a defense in depth. And you mentioned risk when you were talking to Heidi. Same concept. There is risk in the internet. And so we put in what we call security controls, basically things that can help mitigate that risk. We put that into our networks, but you've got to teach people how to do that. You've got to show them why they should do that to understand.
Is this going to get worse? I mean, are they out there just preying on people going to continue to do this and continue to do it even more?
They're making trillions of dollars a year. It works. This is not going to get better. This is going to get much, much worse. And that's why we need to make sure that people around Lebanon, people around Tennessee, people around the United States are aware of the risks in social engineering. Using that internet, using Facebook, we understand people want to do social networking. We understand that. But you cannot believe that whoever is giving you, even if it's, let's say that, because I've got 9 grandchildren, if my granddaughter contacts me and says, Granddaddy, would like to, we are going to have a concert, we're going to have this, click here to do this. I am not going to click on that. Okay? I'm not going to click on that link that Peyton sends me. I'm going to turn around, I'm going to call Peyton. Peyton, did you just send me this? Yes, Granddaddy, I did. Okay, so you sent me a link? Yes, Granddaddy, I did. Fantastic. I'll click on it now because now I've confirmed it.
You're saying check everything.
Everything. Trust nothing. So I hate to say it that way, but when you're talking about cyber and the internet, we call it in the cybersecurity world, we call it the untrusted network. You cannot trust anything in it. Nothing.
Jim, our time is up. I hope you're having a good trip and things go well, but you're staying busy while you're having fun, I guess. A lot of great information here this morning, and I have to say we're proud of you and appreciate you coming on.
Well, Uncle Coleman, as you know, since 5 years old, I've been listening to you at my grandmother's table, listening to you on the radio, so it's always a joy.
That's part 1 of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Lifetime brake pad guaranteed. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning in Williamson County. Trying to clean up that earlier wreck on 840 eastbound in Paytonsville. Traffic's picked up again with that volume on 24 west up through the Hickory Hollow area, leaving Rutherford County towards Davidson, towards Nashville. Traffic's on the increase over here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Still moving right now out of Dixon County, I-40 east, headed towards Kingston Springs. Hey, Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's most professional painting company, both commercial and residential. Check them out online this weekend at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
When it comes to Medicare plans designed to meet your needs and budget, there's no place like Farm Bureau Health Plans. We've got Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare Supplements, Part D, dental, vision, designed with folks like you in mind. Visit our office at 214 North Castle Heights here in Lebanon. You can see Charlotte Webster for your Medicare or other health plan needs. You can always get a quote for auto, home, life insurance, and also commercial insurance. Then again, West Dugan, Farm Bureau, Castle Heights office.
Fiddler's Grove Historic Village invites you to the 13th annual Ghost in the Grove event on Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the James E. Ward Ag Center. Storytellers will share history with a spooky ending. Take a mysterious trolley ride deep into the dark woods. Great family fun, food, and treats. $11 for adults 17 and over, $6 for ages 6 to 16. Discount tickets available online at fiddlersgrovetn.com.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Badura Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Mostly sunny skies through the morning. We'll see a slight chance of showers by this afternoon. High of 78. Tonight, a 40% chance of showers, eventually reaching a low down to 60. We will see south winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour by this evening. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2 here on a Friday morning. Time for us to talk with 2 members of the CNZ team of Exit Rocky Top Realty, and I'll let you guess who they are. No, I'll tell you. Miss Judy and Medina are here. Good morning to you.
The Mass Singer. Oh, my.
Exit Rocky Top Realty, 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. They are people you can trust. Good to see you all again. Been 2 weeks since I've been here.
Yes, that's right, and we missed you.
Yep.
But all the hosts did a really good job.
Well, let's see. You had Ray Render last week.
That's right.
And,
And we had Kurt Baker the week before.
Yes.
So that was 2 brand new ones for us. So we were like a little worried, but everything was fine. They did great.
Well, how's business?
It's doing great. You know, this time of the year, everybody's like starting to think about holidays. So they're starting to think about the kids being out of school at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they're thinking about looking at houses so they can exchange their kids in the school system in January when school comes back, or either some of them change between the Thanksgiving and Christmas break. So they're out here looking, and most of those will be closing at the end of December, and the kids will be ready to go to the new schools in January. So this is a busy time. Fall break always brings them in, and it's the whole month of October pretty much across the country.
But that changed when we didn't. I mean, years ago, we didn't have a school break. If we had one, it wasn't as long.
That's right.
Things change with time.
That's right.
And being in the real estate business, you change with them for sure.
Yeah, it changes because, you know, January is our second best-selling month of the year. And never, January and February was when all the realtors took off and went on vacation and got your office all in order. But now that's the number 2 best-selling month of the year is January. And it's because, and a lot of that's because people retire now at the end of the year, get their money, sell their bigger home, and they want to go downsize. So it all, you know, it's never a bad time to sell your house in this area. Never. So.
Are we ready for Medina?
Oh no. I was going to tell you a few tips. We got to make sure. I'm not finished.
You're paying for this time. You do it like you want.
No. But what I was going to tell you, it's getting winter, so you need to go out there and get somebody to check your chimney and make sure if you've got a fireplace, you open the vent before you start fires in it. But get somebody to check your chimney. You know, you need to close all your vents around your house. Bring your flowers in because, you know, one morning you're going to wake up and they're going to be wilted. One thing about flowers, I had a lady, if you take your ferns, if you got pretty ferns, if you'll cut them all the way back just to almost the top of the fern, at the bottom of the fern, and stick them in a garbage bag and put them underneath your house, it's like a greenhouse. And then next spring, take them out, water them, and then they come right back out. So if you've got big ferns, if you bring those in the house and they shed the leaves everywhere. So it's a good way to do that. But anyway, never mind. I'm not a florist, but I thought I'd tell you that little tidbit. And check around your windows, and you just want to get everything ready for winter. But the main thing too is unhook that hose pipe. People do not do that. They leave their hose pipe hooked up, and then when it freezes, then next spring it starts dribbling around the front, and they don't know what happened. Well, it froze and it popped it. So take it off. Unscrew it from the hydrant, always.
You know, a lot of people have moved here from other states out west, up north to Tennessee, and they just said, what's a hose pipe?
Yeah, that's probably right. It's a hose pipe down here, but up there it's a hose.
Water hose.
Water hose. But it's a hose pipe here. So, and that is kind of but that's just what we call it.
Jim, my nephew who was just on, his father from Indiana, and he came down here and started hearing a hose pipe. It like blew his mind.
Well, I probably blew some people's minds. I'll let Medina blow the rest of it.
All right,
well, you know, everybody, a lot of people are moving here. They're moving down the street. They're moving to other counties. They're moving into Wilson County. They're upsizing. They're downsizing. They're having to sell because they're relocating, or they're wanting another school district, or they're wanting whatever the reason may be. Someone may have passed away, so they're moving. So any reason that you're wanting to buy a house, give us a call. We are 2 girls that work it all the time. We live, breathe it, and eat it all the time, as they say. So we have homes, we have property, we have farms, we have lots, we have new homes, we have used homes, we have homes that are vacant, we have homes that are about to be vacant. We have it all. And if we don't have a sign in the yard and that's not what you're looking for, we can help you find what you're looking for. So we have we have homes listed anywhere from $200,000 all the way up to $800,000. So give us a call on that if you're looking for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, or if you're looking for a mobile home, or if you're looking for land to put a mobile home, or if you're looking for a basement lot, or if you're looking for commercial property to open a business. Give us a call. We do real estate, all sections of the real estate. We just don't handle one area or one price range. So give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you. And we've been doing this for quite a while, for a combined close to 40 years. So I think we know a little bit about what we're doing.
Well, I think when you talk, the experience shows, without a doubt.
Well, we enjoy it too. And I've always said, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you need to go find something else. But we enjoy what we're doing. We have fun at it. And we make it fun. We love meeting new clients that's coming in from out of state, or new clients that live here, have been here all their lives, and we've never met them. And we'd be happy to find you what you're looking for. And, sometimes it's a search, and sometimes it's a real easy search. So just give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you find your new home to you.
And if you want to write that phone number down, it's 615-443-3130.
That's right.
All right.
Someone always answers the phone.
Well, good to see y'all. I hope have a great, productive October, and this coming week is a good weekend, and all the best. And
yes, and you remember, don't ever forget.
Hey, and she forgot.
That was not supposed to be told.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
She's putting emphasis on it.
Yeah, don't make a move without us.
See y'all next week. Have a great one.
You too.
Medina Hematola and Judy Cox, Exit Rocky Top Realty's C&D team, 1330 West Main in Lebanon. About 20 before the hour, my guest this morning, I guess we can say, is substituting for Jeff Luttrell. I believe there was a board meeting Wednesday night, and we had, to be honest, Jeff Luttrell was scheduled yesterday, and then I realized that I had Congressman Rose supposed to be on, and he was, and we moved him till today. And we have Jamie Farrow with us today. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well, but there has been a death. We're sorry to have to report this morning, but Bobby Allison, the father of Jeff Luttrell, has passed away. And I've got to offer my condolences here. His wife was the former Brenda Griffin, who was a cheerleader, along with my wife, a basketball cheerleader at Watertown High School in the long ago. And Helen and I have known Brenda for all these years, and knew Bobby, of course, and have come to know Jeff as he's been part of their family. But our condolences to them on the passing of Bobby Allison. But that is your reason for being here this morning. And Jamie, it is good to see you again. I hope things are going well.
They are, and it's good to be back. Thank you for having me.
We'll try to spend some time here, especially in the beginning, talking about your board meeting Wednesday night. Of course, it came during the second week of the fall break. Was that by design necessarily, or what?
Well, it was scheduled as it normally was, and we moved it because of fall break. And typically, we don't have meetings on Wednesday nights. And just trying to schedule around everything that was already scheduled, and trying to make sure that parents would be back in town and staff would be available, we moved it to a Wednesday night. So we did have it Wednesday night, and it was actually, as our meetings go, pretty quick. We were out by before 9 o'clock, and that was for a combined work session and board meeting. So we had a pretty good meeting. One of our major items was Mr. Luttrell's evaluation, and every item that was scored on there was agree or strongly agree. So I think that's a really strong, really good evaluation. We were able to vote to accept or approve 4 pages of teachers for tenure, which is great. That's teachers that want to stay with our district. We know, I think last month when I was here, Coleman, we talked about how difficult it is to retain teachers and to attract teachers. And this is the longest list we mentioned in the meeting. This is the longest list we've seen for tenure in years. And so to be able to vote on accepting 4 pages of teachers to give them tenure is a thing to celebrate.
That's a real positive, isn't it?
It is a positive thing. It's something exciting, and we should highlight that. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that today.
And then let everybody listening know this, that
Yeah.
this is saying that the Wilson County school system is a good place to be a teacher.
It is a good place to be a teacher. It's a good place to work. I think that we have a director that listens to his staff. And, you know, there's always room for improvement. I've said that before, in everything. And if there's things that we can do better, we want to know that. And but in the meantime, I think that this shows that we have been listening and we have been making improvements when we've heard of issues, as we can meet them, as we can meet those needs that have been brought up.
Well, this evaluation of Mr. Luttrell, either you said strongly agree or agree, I believe that was, that's a very positive thing too, isn't it?
That's an extremely positive thing. There were, each board member was able to give comments. All the comments were positive. So I would say, the director of school is the only employee of the board. And so, and not one board member employs the director alone. So the 7 of us are his employer. And for all 7 of us to say that we agree or strongly agree that he is meeting all of the goals that we have put forward and to give strong, positive comments is a really good thing.
All right, we need to go to a break, but before we do, isn't today a special day? And let's get this out before our break. We'll mention it again later.
We are doing a groundbreaking for Legardo Elementary today.
What time is that?
11:30.
11:30. So quite a bit of publicity surrounding this in the Legardo area.
It is, and I do hope we get to talk about that more.
Okay. All right, let's take our break here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Regular oil change $39.95, up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, 1673 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're still working this wreck out in Bellevue, West Nashville. It's going to be on 40 eastbound near Highway 70. A little bit of rubbernecking going on there. You got a lot of traffic coming through there right now from Kingston Springs, coming in from Dixon County. Again, a little bit of a slowdown as they clean up this wreck 40 eastbound in Highway 70. It's heavy on 24 westbound up through the Hickory Hollow area, coming in from Rutherford County. Still on the scene of a serious wreck in Williamson County on 840 eastbound in Paytonsville. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is hiring in all locations. Check out that menu this weekend at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hi, this is Corey Cluck with Sherry's Hope, and we just want to wish WANT a very happy 30th anniversary.
This is Tim Leeper with Tim Leeper Roofing, wishing the radio station a happy 30 years, and here's to 30 more.
Hey, y'all, this is Lindsay Johnson with Kane and Crowell Law Office. I want to wish WANT a happy 30th birthday.
I'm retired Mike Barbie with the Wilson County Sheriff's Office. I want to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Kesney Beatty with Sherry's Hope, and we just want to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
The Grand Old Barn Songwriters are coming to Starstruck Farm. Enjoy hit songwriters and a delicious buffet dinner in a beautiful, unique venue on Highway 109, Thursday, October 19th. Nashville writers Mark Allen Barnett, J.D. Shelburne, and Bill D. Luisi will be featured. Tickets are available through Eventbrite or by calling 615-636-5137. That's 615-636-5137. Join us for the fun Thursday, October 19th at Starstruck Farm.
Are you feeling pretty scary about buying a house?
Well, hold on to your broomsticks.
You will need a spooky to open this house.
We will make you feel spooktacular.
Don't be a scaredy cat. Give us a call.
Let's give them pumpkin to talk about. Don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmensholer at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Coleman and Company, welcome to our final segment here for Friday morning. And if you're just joining us, Jamie Farrell is here. Jamie is the chairman of the board of Wilson County Board of Education. They had a board meeting on Wednesday night, and she's here and has told us some about that. We'll get into more if necessary. But really, this, and you were telling me during the break here, this is an exciting thing that's happening today, something you're really into. Even got a special shirt you're wearing for the occasion today.
I'm pretty excited about it. When I ran for school board, one of the things that I had ran on was that we needed schools in the Zone 7 area. Our kids in that area at the time, were going to West Elementary, which of course they still are. West Elementary at last check was at 111% capacity, and now we've got portables out there. I'm not sure what the capacity is off the top of my head, but then all the way out to West Wilson Middle School in Mount Juliet, and these are kids all the way from the bridge. Mm-hmm. And since being elected, we've bought property. We're breaking ground today on the elementary school in Zone 7 in the Legardo area, and to see something go from this need that was identified through the public commentary period, discussions, funding, and to see it actually come to fruition, breaking ground, and knowing that we're seeing this problem fixed. It's just something to be celebrated. Legardo has a long history of schools that, I think 4 schools used to be in Legardo. And so to see that come back, I had a community member tell me that when a school leaves a community, it loses a little bit of its heart. And that area has a lot of heart, but maybe this will just bring something special back to it too. So we're breaking ground today at 11:30, and something a little extra exciting, I think, is I was able to work with Dr. Juneau at West Elementary and Tammy at the Election Commission, and where West Elementary is going to be the main school that is rezoned, the students at that school on October 18th are voting on the graphic for the mascot. So they're bringing in the voting machines, and that's really exciting. 2 of our art teachers designed different graphics, so I can't wait to see what they choose. And their mascot is the captains, and so there's different variations, captains' hats and anchors and different things like that. So really exciting.
Let me ask a logistical question here. There was some controversy about the location that you chose there, mm-hmm. and especially regarding the road and approaches and this sort of thing. Is that a problem for you? Talk about that.
So I think there's going to be controversy wherever we pick for a school to go, because everybody wants a school in their area, but nobody wants it on their road. And I fully understand that. I grew up on Double Log Cabin. My dad still lives on Double Log Cabin, and from the property, I can throw a rock and hit his house. And I'll be completely honest, I did not want this to be the property. It hurts my heart to watch the place I grew up change. But it was the right vote. And sometimes it's hard as an elected official to vote against your own best interest, but that's what we're elected to do. The other properties, for different reasons, were not the right choice. As far as the road, Double Log Cabin is a 2-lane road. Some of the lanes or some of the roads leading up to it are 1-lane roads, but Legardo is full of 1-lane roads. And if you remember correctly, the school, Mount Juliet High School, was on Curd Lane. That was a 1-lane road when that was put in. I believe Springdale was put in on a 1-lane road, but Double Log Cabin is a 2-lane road. So I can tell you from living in that area, people don't choose to go down Gwen Lane, which is the 1-lane road that connects to Double Log Cabin. They choose to go down the larger roads. And one of the questions or concerns that was expressed was, could the buses go down these 1-lane roads? Buses have always traveled down those 1-lane roads, including when I was a child riding the bus down that 1-lane road back in the 80s. So buses have always traveled those roads, and they will continue to do so.
Okay, so you're really saying that's not the problem maybe that was suggested earlier.
It's not, but I do sympathize. Like, I feel that way too. Change is hard. It's hard to watch the area that you love change. I do know that there were other plans for that property if it weren't for the schools. And I can say that the schools are committed to being good neighbors. We will stay and maintain our buildings and be good neighbors. And I can't say I'll be on the board forever, but I can promise as long as I'm on the board, we'll be good neighbors. So.
Okay, and this is at 11:30 today, groundbreaking. What all's in the ceremony?
So myself and Mr. Mayfield will speak, and I believe the architect is going to speak, and then we've got our construction hats and shovels, and I did mention bringing out captain's hats, and there was a little bit of pushback from some of the gentlemen that were going to be involved, but I did not buy captain's hats this time. I strongly considered it. But
all right, is there anything else from Wednesday night's board meeting we need to discuss, or are we pretty much taking care of that?
I think it's pretty much taken care of. I mean, enrollment continues to be up. That's our growth is just soaring. It's continuing to soar, and there's going to be more schools in the future. That same property that we were just talking about has room for a middle school in the future.
You anticipate in time a middle school being there as well?
Yes, sir. I think the original timeline was within 5 years. But before we do that, we've also purchased land on Central Pike for another elementary school. So that will be the next step. We're also actively renovating Mount Juliet Middle School, and I'll be there later today after the groundbreaking. I'm going to Mount Juliet Middle School just to see the renovation. There's also discussions of renovating Lakeview. And then we are about to start a survey of the Watertown community to see what they would like for us to do with their middle school. We know we have to address the middle school, but there are some strong community connections to that building. Mm-hmm. And we want to respect what the community wants too. So the survey is not a vote, but it is gathering information on what the community would prefer, a new building, renovation, and take that into account.
Jamie, let me ask you this. You were a member of the school board before you became chairman.
Yes, sir.
How much has this being chairman changed your life or your time involved and so on? I would think that there's more responsibility on your shoulders, and it takes more time now than it did before.
You know, I think I've always been very involved, so I don't feel like it's added a whole lot. I mean, I'm part of the executive committee, so part of the executive committee, when a contract comes in and it can't wait for the next board meeting, a date's going to be missed or something like that, then the executive committee meets and they can sign a contract outside of the board meeting, and then that goes to the entire board to see. And I review every check that comes through the school system for the general purpose fund. Those are the two things that I do outside of the board meetings. Those are a little bit time consuming. Other than that, most of my responsibilities are inside of the board meeting. Beyond that, as far as involvement and going to schools and doing things and being in the community, those are things I did when I was elected as a Zone 7 representative, and that's not changed just because I'm chairman. I'm not doing more just because I'm chairman.
Well, I would say, where do we go from here? And you've already mentioned you've got some property and planning on another one after this and so on. At what point do you think, as you kind of look ahead, that we might need, or if and when we'd need another high school?
It's on the way. That was something at the last board meeting, not this Wednesday, but last month, September, we tasked Mr. Luttrell, or we gave him permission that if the opportunity presented itself to pursue a property for a high school, that he did not have to wait to talk to the board. Go ahead and get the information and be gathering. We didn't want to put any restrictions on him where we missed an opportunity, because the last few years, the enrollment has increased mostly in the elementary and the middle school. That's not the case now. Now it's the high school. And so, it's not been that long ago that we opened Green Hill. That was, I think, the month after I got elected was when we did the ribbon cutting on Green Hill. And there's still capacity. But as we've seen with Lagardo Elementary, it takes about 2 years from the time you buy, start talking and purchase property and go through funding. It takes about 2 years. So we're right on target to just start looking and be prepared.
Do you have any idea where the next high school might be? Can you pinpoint that at all?
I think it will be somewhere in the 109 area. That's where all of our growth projections were showing when we originally started looking for property. When we bought the double log cabin property, we were really looking to do community schools, put the schools where the kids are instead of taking the kids to where the schools are. I think I said that right, but community schools, and then, let them share fields, and that would be a cost savings to taxpayers as well. That did not work out. One of the properties, there were 3 parcels in that purchase. One of the landowners pulled out, so we've only got enough for 2. So somewhere in that 109 area, not exactly sure exactly where. So there's some flexibility. But I look forward to seeing exactly.
And you always wonder what name it's going to be given. I don't think we've got that far yet.
We've not gotten that far. And each school will have a different naming committee, and that involves members of the community. This naming committee, we had a teacher, we had a couple of community members, we had a couple of parents. I was on it. And it was really great. We had a community member, like I said, that attended the old Legardo schools and was able to tell us. He even remembered, in the auditorium type area, there was like red hanging up, and so red is one of our primary colors.
And you have a little red on today.
I do. I do.
Well, listen, we've come to the end of our time here this morning. I really enjoyed your visit. You've shared a wealth of information with us. And again, this groundbreaking is at 11:30 today on Double Log Cabin Road.
Yes, sir.
And you will be there, along with a lot of other people and the TV cameras and everything else, and some shovels, I believe, as well. Yeah. Okay, Jamie, thank you so much. Jamie Farrah, Chairman of the School Board for Wilson County. And that is it for a Friday. Have a nice weekend, everybody. And until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.